There is a fire not lit by the hands of man. It does not flicker in the wind. It does not dim in the dark. It lives in the soul of the one who decides, not wishes, not hopes, not waits, but decides to rise. This is the fire of a burning desire, and it is the starting point of all greatness. Not knowledge, not skill, not luck, not timing, but desire, intense, consuming, unrelenting, the kind of desire that makes comfort feel like a prison and mediocrity an insult, the kind that keeps you up at night because the vision is louder than the silence, the kind that wakes you before the world stirs because your future won't wait for you to be ready. You do not stumble into success. You do not arrive at achievement by accident. You claim it with a mind ablaze. Every man who has built something from nothing began with one thing, an idea lit by desire, and not a lukewarm longing. Number A, burning obsession, an inner demand that said, I will have this, or I will die trying. That is the desire I speak of, and if it lives in you, it will remake your world. Desire is not emotion. It is not the shallow surge that comes and goes with the weather of your mood. It is not excitement. It is not inspiration. It is decision made permanent. You must want something so deeply that the wanting transforms into action. That action, repeated with faith and direction, transforms into momentum. And that momentum, when carried by unwavering belief, becomes destiny. But it begins with the want, not a weak want, but a white-hot craving that consumes excuses, burns through failure, and leaves nothing behind but the path forward. When you desire something with all of your being, you no longer see obstacles the same way. You no longer speak the same language as the man without direction. His words are maybe, someday, if it works. Your words are when, how, watch me. A burning desire strips you of the need for approval. You are no longer waiting for applause. You are becoming the proof. You begin to move through the world with a certainty that others feel and cannot explain. They will call it confidence. They will call it charisma. But it is none of those things. It is conviction. Conviction that you are meant for more. Conviction that your life is your responsibility. Conviction that no man, no condition, no setback can outlast the will of one who refuses to give up. And yet you must protect that desire because the world will test it, not with loud threats, but with quiet comforts, with distractions dressed as opportunities, with people who say they mean well while handing you chains. You must guard your desire like a flame in the wind, feed it with vision, fuel it with faith, shelter it with daily action. There will be days when you feel no progress, days when the outer world does not reflect the intensity of your inner drive, days when your results feel smaller than your effort. And it is here, precisely here, that most men quit, because their desire was not burning. It was borrowed. It was conditional. It was only alive when the world gave them a reason to believe. But your desire, if it is to carry you, must burn through the silence, through the doubt, through the delay. You must look at the empty results and say, still I build. You must face the slow days and say, still I move. You must be able to walk alone and still hear the roar of your vision calling you forward. Do not ask for ease. Ask for clarity. Ask for the ability to keep your fire lit when the night is long. Ask for the discipline to return to your purpose when distractions surround you. Because desire without direction is chaos, and direction without discipline is a fantasy. The man who wins is the one who channels his desire into habit, who does the thing not when it's convenient, but until it is done. Because when the desire is great enough, no excuse survives. You will find the time, you will create the path, you will build the skills, you will change your environment, you will sacrifice what must be left behind. And the world will begin to shift, slowly at first, then suddenly. And they will say, he came out of nowhere. But you did not. You came from within. From years of work the world did not see. From mornings when no one was watching. From nights when you held your dream like a torch in the dark. And that is the moment when you'll know. You've crossed over. You are no longer hoping. You are no longer pretending. You are living what you once only imagined. And you will carry something stronger than success. You will carry a fire that no wind can touch. Desire, when kept alive long enough, becomes identity. You no longer chase a dream, you become it. It is no longer something outside of you. It begins to shape your voice, your posture, your decisions. What once felt like effort becomes instinct, because the man who moves from burning desire does not need motivation. He is powered by meaning, and meaning is stronger than motivation. The man with meaning doesn't ask if it's hard. He knows it is, and he shows up anyway. He doesn't ask if the goal is far. He understands that every step forward brings the future closer. You must reach this point where your desire becomes non-negotiable, where you no longer ask if it will happen. You ask only, how much more must I grow to receive what I've already claimed in my mind? The man who desires faintly waits. The man who desires fiercely prepares. He trains when there is no applause. He builds when there is no blueprint. He creates when no one is watching. Because he is not driven by praise, he is driven by vision. That vision must be clear. You must know not only what you want, but why. You must speak it until your voice carries the weight of certainty. You must write it until the ink runs dry and the idea runs deep. You must feel it, not as a distant hope, but as a living memory of a future already known. Clarity transforms desire into momentum. Vague desire produces vague action. The man who says, I want more, will forever come up short. But the man who says, I want this, and I will have it, brings his world into focus. The mind obeys precision. The body follows commitment. The world responds to certainty. When your desire is clear, distractions reveal themselves for what they are. Noise, the invitations to drift, the temptations to quit, the whispers of good enough, they lose their grip. Because you have seen the outcome in your mind. And once you've seen it, truly seen it, you are no longer satisfied with anything less. But to hold that image, to keep it burning, you must stoke it with discipline. Discipline is the fuel of the man with desire. Desire may ignite the fire, but only discipline keeps it alive through wind, through rain, through the long and bitter night. It is easy to be excited at the start. It is admirable to dream, but it is rare to endure, and only those who endure will ever touch the summit. You must become the man who shows up not because he feels like it, but because he said he would. That word, your word, must become sacred. And when you pair a burning desire with a sacred commitment to act, you become a weapon in the hands of purpose. Let me tell you this plainly. The man who disciplines himself is the man who rules his world. He does not surrender to mood. He does not retreat when tired. He does not trade progress for momentary comfort. He trains himself to move when others stall, to press forward when others pause, to speak belief when others speak fear, because he understands that results are not born in one decision, but in thousands, thousands of choices that say, I am still walking, I am still building, I am still burning. And the world will try to cool that flame. It will try to convince you that desire is naive, that consistency is excessive, that your dream is too big, too unrealistic, too much. They will say this because they have settled. And men who settle do not know what to do with the man who refuses to. You must refuse. Refuse the doubt. Refuse the limitations. Refuse the false comfort of average. You were not made to settle. You were made to rise. And if you fall, and at times you will, do not confuse the fall with the end. The man with a burning desire does not stay down. He learns, he adjusts, he sharpens, and he stands again, not weaker, but wiser. Because every setback is a signal, not that you should stop, but that you are being shaped, that the edges are being refined, that your desire is being tested to prove it is real, so rise. And when you rise, do it with fire in your gut and clarity in your eyes. Do it with the power of a man who has been broken but not beaten. Do it with the quiet thunder of someone who has walked through the doubt, walked through the fire, and now walks with authority. Because you are not here to survive. You are here to conquer. Every great structure was once just a sketch. Every movement began as a whisper, every revolution a single voice, and every world-changing life began with a man or woman who wanted something so deeply, so intensely, so completely, that the world eventually had no choice but to make room for it. Desire, burning with belief, built every monument worth remembering, and your monument, your vision, waits on you. It will not come from the outside. No wind will deliver it. No hand will hand it to you. It will come when you decide, and when you keep deciding every day, every hour, every quiet moment when you could give in but don't. Because the flame still burns, because the image still calls, because the man inside you refuses to be forgotten. When the desire is real, truly burning, it will demand something greater than effort. It will call for faith, not the kind you speak when things are going well, not the kind you wear like a badge when results come fast. I speak of the kind of faith that stands firm when there is no evidence, the kind that walks forward in the dark with no lantern but belief, because there will be days when the outer world gives you nothing, no sign, no progress, no applause, just silence. And in that silence, your faith must speak louder than your fear. You must be able to say to yourself, though I do not see it, yet I know it is real. Though no one believes it, I do. Though nothing is moving, I move. This is the faith that turns desire into a destiny, because it is not based on results. It is based on truth, the truth that your thoughts shape your world, that what you consistently hold in your mind, backed by belief and motion, will one day harden into fact. But the bridge between desire and reality is faith sustained over time. That time will test you. But if the flame burns, you will not fold. You will return to the vision again and again, and each time you do, your faith grows stronger, because faith is not inherited. It is earned by staying the course when quitting feels easier. And the man who keeps walking in the absence of proof is the man to whom the world eventually surrenders. But faith is not passive. It is not hope in disguise. It must be paired with persistence, the refusal to stop moving no matter how long the road. Persistence is desire in motion. It is belief with legs. It is the fire that keeps burning while others go cold. The man who persists is the man who understands that no failure is final unless you make it so, that every setback is feedback, that every delay is direction, that every obstacle is there to strengthen the one who dares to endure. And when persistence becomes your nature, you are no longer operating on ordinary principles. You no longer stop for discouragement. You no longer answer to defeat. You are guided not by what happens to you, but by what you have decided will come from you. That is the essence of self-mastery. That is the mindset of the one who succeeds not by chance, but by law. Now listen closely, because here lies one of the greatest truths of all. The man with a burning desire and unwavering faith begins to reshape reality. People feel him before he speaks. Opportunities begin to form around him. He no longer chases. He attracts. Why? Because he is aligned. He is no longer doubting the outcome. He is living in it before it arrives. This is the state of vibration where the invisible becomes visible, where what was once imagined now steps into form, not because the world changed, but because you did. This is what they will call luck. This is what they will call coincidence. They will not see the years of vision, the hours of silent preparation, the days of pushing through invisible walls. But you will know that everything you desired, everything you burned for, was born first in the unseen and brought forth by your refusal to quit. And in this journey, one more force will carry you further than most men ever walk: gratitude. Gratitude is the alignment of spirit. It is the voice that says, I am not empty, I am becoming. I am not waiting, I am creating. I am not broken, I am being shaped. When you meet your days with gratitude, you become unstoppable, not because the path is easier, but because you no longer fight it. You trust it. You begin to see every challenge as sharpening, every delay as divine design, every difficult season as the training ground for the strength you asked for when you first said yes to the vision. Gratitude makes your desire sustainable. It fuels patience without passivity. It turns the waiting room into the weight room, where you grow, where you refine, where you build capacity for what's coming. Because the man who is grateful while becoming is always ready when the moment arrives. He does not panic. He does not stumble. He steps in with calm certainty, and he owns the result. Not because it was handed to him, but because he built it with fire, faith, and thankfulness through the storm. You were not given your desire by accident. It is the signal of your assignment. It is the blueprint written on your soul. And if you ignore it, you will ache. Not because you failed, but because you didn't try. That's the true pain. Not loss, but the knowledge that you could have become something greater and chose not to. So if the fire is there, tend it. If the voice still calls, answer it. If the vision still lives in your mind, honor it. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when life slows down. Now, because desire does not wait forever. It is a guest. If you feed it, it becomes your power. If you ignore it, it becomes your regret. The choice is yours. And if you choose it, if you decide today to stoke that flame into a fire that will never die, then I say this: you will not be stopped, not by delay, not by failure, not by fear, because the man with a burning desire does not bow to reality, he rewrites it. You will reach a point on this path where something inside you changes forever. You will stop asking if it's possible. You will stop wondering when it will happen. You will stop seeking proof from the outside world because you've become the evidence. You've seen what a burning desire can do when it's held, when it's honored, when it's protected like sacred flame. You've felt it move mountains inside you long before the world ever noticed. And now you are no longer waiting for results. You're living in alignment with the outcome you've already claimed. This is not arrogance. This is not delusion. This is the highest form of responsibility, the kind that says, I have been called and I have answered, and I will keep answering no matter the cost. The world may not understand that kind of fire. It may question your hunger, your intensity, your refusal to live halfway. Let them. You are not here to be understood. You are here to become. There is no greater tragedy than a man who was called to greatness but refused to rise. A man who had the vision but lacked the fire. A man who waited for the world to validate what he already knew deep within his soul. Do not become that man. You do not need more time. You do not need more permission. You need only this, to remember who you are and to act like it. You were not created for smallness. You were not meant to drift. You were meant to rise, to build, to lead, to turn thought into form and desire into destiny. That is your inheritance. That is your responsibility. And if you've forgotten it, let this moment be your return. Return to the fire. Return to the vision. Return to the version of you that once believed without limits, that once dreamed with open eyes, that once stood at the edge of the impossible and said, "Why not me?" He is still in you. She is still waiting. That version of yourself that aches to build, to speak, to lead, to become something unshakable. It has not left you. It has only been waiting, waiting for the day you stop negotiating with your potential, waiting for the day you stop shrinking your desires to fit your fears, waiting for the day you decide to make your desire more than an idea and turn it into a standard. A standard for how you live, a standard for what you tolerate, a standard for what you expect from yourself, because desire, when lived with conviction, becomes identity. So let this be the moment you decide. You will not give up. You will not back down. You will not return to smallness. You will carry this fire into every room, every choice, every hour of your life. Let your discipline be your language. Let your energy speak before you do. Let your actions announce your vision before your words ever reach the air. And when the results come, and they will, you will not be surprised. You will not feel lucky. You will smile, calm, certain, because you built this, you became this, and all along you knew it. So stand tall now, not because the world says you can, but because your burning desire never said you couldn't. Let it roar within you. Let it fuel your days. Let it rewrite your nights. Let it shape your habits, mold your focus, and call forth your strength. You were not given this desire by accident. It is not random. It is not coincidence. It is the spark of your highest self. And if you carry it, if you burn with it, there will come a day when the world will ask you how you did it. And you will say only this: I desired it. I believed it. I never let the fire die.